Good morning again. So I thought I would just mention a couple more thoughts about rejection. I think it's I had a headband here. I think it's a huge topic for some of the personality types out there. I don't think enough is really emphasized about how much pain rejection causes some personality types in comparison to others. There are some that are in the normal range and everyone can say, oh yeah, I know it hurts, it's terrible, time will pass. But when someone has certain personality types, the pain is like almost a black abyss of terror and shame and offense sometimes. So I just want you to know, if you have that type of reaction, it's not because you're broken. It's usually, well, from my experience, once in a while, it's just a personality thing. But a lot of times it's connected to your attachment styles, which is basically how you've been brought up to respond to the world. Because in the caveman days, when you were a baby and you know how your parents weren't seeing you, you knew you could die or be traded to another tribe or used for food, or eaten, by your own tribe or a different tribe. It can be traded. So that's what I think. But there are some personalities that are just wired funny. Funny, haha, no. But either way, it's your personal challenge. You're either up for it or you keep bending over. That's what I call it. It's like you're bending over to duck. You're ducking out of your responsibility to live the best life you can. And if you can't, find a way to get the courage by yourself. Get some help. Counselors love to help people who have rejection issues. Well, I do. I love it. Oh, there it is. Thing with rejection and feeling that strong impact is that for some people, it's going to probably be a lifelong battle. You can get on some of these very sweet therapists online here on YouTube, things like that. And here's some good news on things you can do to help with those things. And please, by all means, do those things. But understand that doesn't, and the reason why I'm being so blunt with you is because if you can accept what you have to work with, like this, right? If you can accept what you have to work with, then you can have something to work with. If you keep denying that it's something you have to work with, then the struggle is so much more real in everyday life. And it doesn't have to be. There are some things that you can do, and we'll talk about those too along the way, along our journey together. We'll talk about different ways you can kind of shield yourself and think outside the box a little bit from your norm. I'll give you some tips. But all these things about, oh, what is that one? It's going on Facebook a lot about, if you can't accept me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. Well, I have recorded, and I'm not sure if I saw a video of me, but I know I got to hear a recording of me a long time ago at my worst. And I'm going to tell you that nobody deserved that. Why would anybody want to stick around for the good stuff when it could get that bad? I'm sharing that with you because, excuse me, a lot of people believe that it's just too hard to change, so they default down into, well, if you can't accept me, then whatever. Well, I can tell you this. Some of us have to try and fail until we realize that we just have a hard time getting along with people. And we have a hard time trusting good people. Good people are boring. Oh yeah, he's got the whole package, but he just doesn't do it for me. I like this bad boy with no job, with abusive communication skills, and well, and a motorcycle. Yeah. Some of us take a while to grow up. But it's not just growing up, my friends. It's not just growing up. It's going against every fiber of your body to not do certain things, right? Do relationships get perfect? Is it like, oh, okay, I finally arrived. I finally got it? For some of us, no. For some of us, it's going to be a lifelong journey. All we can hope is to get a little better along the way. That's just the way it is, right? But that doesn't mean you can't have a good life. It's true. There are a lot of us who have had serious challenges and trauma, you know, that look like it, that's on paper. You can see it. You maybe even have photographs of it. And then there are some people who have just been tortured emotionally in such a way that it short circuits a little bit those neural pathways. And some people, like I said earlier, are just born with it. So why fight it? Because you're not broken. Why fight it? Why not lean into it and say, okay, what can I do next? What can I do next? Well, I'll tell you one thing. When I first started my journey, one of the things I would do is I would find, hear, or get a feeling or a thought that my boyfriend was cheating on me. And I would pack up everything that I had of his in my apartment, and then I would set it out on the porch, and I'd be thinking about burning it. Yeah. Well, then I got some help. I've called my sponsor, who was also a therapist at the time, and she said, put it all back. put it all back till you know for sure what's going on. And because I'd been wrong so many times and ruined my life so many times in relationships, I put it all back. Now, did that relationship survive? No, we both had other problems too. But I can tell you what, I went through that scenario many times over the next few months before we broke up. But that was my way of improving. I didn't have to change completely. It's not an overnight deal. I keep saying that. It might be a lifelong deal, but I was willing. And so I have learned not to pack up anybody's stuff, friend or foe, until I know for sure what my goal is, what it is that I'm willing to lose from that behavior, right? You just don't go around packing people's stuff up. It was hard on a cellular level. The first time I did it, I packed up everything and then the light came on and I had to unpack everything. So then I got better and better at not packing up as much before I started putting it back. And then where I could just sit down and rock and breathe and not pack up anything. So I'm sharing that with you because I don't want you to think for a minute you're alone, because you're not. We get crazy sometimes. And sometimes we stay too long. But you know what? When you're used to always running, always leaving, sometimes you have to look what's in the bank, look what's in your heart, look at your long-term goals, and take your time. Unless you don't have any. If you don't have any, you might want to move a little faster. There was a time when I didn't think I had any time. I thought everything was so urgent. Life or death. Gotta get going. Trapped. I don't feel that so much anymore. And if I do, I talk to somebody. I have a therapist and I have a sponsor. And it helps immensely to have someone to talk to. And I have a dog, which is very helpful. It looks like I need to tweeze my eyebrows. They're getting away from me. They're just getting away from me. All right, well, I think I'm about done here. Oh, I forgot my bottom lashes. Gotta do a little bit there. If you're being rejected, try to hang around somebody that you like. See if you know anybody. If not, maybe join the Y and go to one of those swimming classes or Zumba or yoga or something. Go for a walk at the park where you know other people will be there and it's safe. Join a bowling league. That's an idea. I know it sounds corny, but we're not supposed to be alone forever. We're not supposed to be alone all the time. So another thing, that I've done is, because I don't like being alone all the time, right? I'm grateful for the one or two people I do have in my life that they may not be perfect, but they're okay for now. A couple of them are pretty cool. So count myself lucky. All right. Hang in there and we'll talk about this some more. Okay? All right. Bye for now.